There we go. We're all good to go. Okay, so as you can see, we're about 16 minutes in now. So when we left, it was about 10 minutes of the game. So we have missed about a 5-minute window here. So let's take a look and see what has ultimately kind of happened in that time. You look at Malikan, I mean, as expected, it's far 470 gold per minute. He's got these sanitaries. He did go the Whispering Helm after.
Yeah, he went back for it. Yeah,
we're talking about that.
Portal key on Pyromancer as well, but Magnus is still away from his portal key. And I think that's the biggest factor because obviously they don't really have initiation outside the Pyromancer, and he's not really the strongest initiator because obviously that Dragonfire stun does take a long while to actually sort of cast, and he doesn't really have the potential to maybe hit like a group of heroes unless they're completely clumped up, which is very, very unlikely to come out from Dawn's positioning. So not the best initiations yet. It's going to help, but compared to our Magnus line stun like that, actually.
Back in, yep, Blazing Strike. It's like, just when you think he might have a chance to get away, that comes out. And that is a level 2 Blazing Strike, by the way. So again, 675 magic damage right there coming out from Cholo Simeon. You see, what's Glacius?
He used ulti. He just, like,
did he just randomly ulti? Oh.
Yeah.
That's a misclick. Well, I didn't catch it on camera, so it didn't happen.
It's fine. Nothing happened.
Well,
but Congo, this is big, actually. I think Dawn, they need to contest, but without Kraken, I don't think they even can, though. Let alone if they even know about it. Oh man, this could be big actually. If Moon Queen gets token, that's another like 5 to 6 minutes of her being uncontested actually. They are going to spot it out there. But I don't think Dawn can even do anything. Keeper's so far away from it, and you know, Congo is dropping too fast. So Congo's going to go down, Moon Queen's going to take it, and that actually might be... She might even pick up Geomet's Bane and skip the Shrunken until the next item pick up because she has that 5 minutes of invulnerability, or 5 minutes of immortality in that respect. So, yeah. I mean, that's quite big because the next team fight they're going to be fighting in 6v5 and okay.
Well, picks off Magnus. Yeah, I didn't even care. I wonder if Magnus actually might have been a little low there from Kraken. He just simply, or from Congo, and he just happened to pick him off as he saw him. So.
That's a really big kill though, because now they're actually going to most likely push into the tier 2. He does have buyback, but if he has that, then he's not going to get his portal key anytime soon. So a massive pick-off actually coming from Dawn, and Labyrinth coming through again. Actually, this tier 2 is most likely going to fall, and no, I don't think they're even going to try and defend it.
It's, again, you look at this lineup as they're kind of getting back into it. You got an Ophelia Keeper. Now, Keeper isn't here necessarily, but it's a very, very dangerous team to fight into, especially if you're now full force, good to go. And, of course, Magnus especially is their big initiator. So, with him dead, no portal key, no reason to really stress that issue. What's done is done. So tower goes down. Magnus, as you pointed out, sure he didn't have to buy back, but that death does slow him down a little bit from getting the portal key. He has about 14, 16 now gold up and counting, gold saved up and counting. So Firebrand just finished on Moon Queen. You're talking about the possibility now, especially going that Geometer's Bane and seeing that he has a token of life. We'll see. Malikan bottom lane. Now Pyromancer down here. Again, he has a lot of burst. There is a Mystic Vestment, so yeah, he's way too tanky to kill by himself. So even for Pyromancer, it's just not going to happen. And that'll be that. Pyromancer, by the way, he does have a portal key, and it looks like he might even be working towards a tablet. Kind of your typical jumping gank or build, something similar to like a Bubbles, I would think. Is what we should expect to see here on him. That we see quite a bit, too. So, since we mentioned him before, again, we jumped to the other series, back to this one now. This is the first time actually on Han Tour Season 3 so far that we were seeing more of a farming-focused Pyromancer in the end. So, and he's making it work. 356 gold per minute here. And there's the tablet. Has that now as well. Token of life, how much time? 256 remaining, so still a little bit of time. I don't know if they're really going to stress it, though. I don't think they need to. I think you would agree that
no, there's no
using it to just farm safely.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do have... I mean, the late game is quite split, honestly, because Moon Queen Tempest is just a ridiculous amount of team fight and a ridiculous amount of late game, but at the same time, Malikan and Keeper, as well as Kraken, can definitely hold their own in terms of late game as well, so... I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you who has the superior team fight. I think it's going to come down to initiation. If one team can really burst down each other's carries, then that could be the factor. But at the same time, it's going to be a lot harder for Nullstone to actually burst down Malikan because of that, obviously, increased strength, because he's a strength carry. But at the same time, they do have the Pyromancer, so a lot of burst potential. So, I mean, I have to admit, this game is like so even and so sort of mirrored in that respect, because either side, they've got the same sort of strategy in mind. They've got the same sort of heroes, and even in terms of team fights, they've got the same. Who should they focus in that respect? So, again, man, I honestly couldn't sort of tell you who's going to take this. Actually, Glacius bottom lane.
Yeah, he runs into Pyromancer right here. Who would have thought a support Glacius doing that much damage to Pyromancer?
Oh no!
Release a Kraken does miss. The stun on the charge actually didn't connect, so that's the reason why he was ultimately able to make the getaway. Obviously, the Hatred helping with that, so Powermancer maybe feeling a little lucky, but able to survive in the end and make it all the way back to base, so good for him and his team. Malikan here does have his Holy Trinity items in a sense. He's got the Shrunken Head, the Sanitarius, and the Whispering Helm, of course, at this point, I mean, so...
If we're going to see any or one team's push, it's going to be Dawn, because they have the Ophelia, they've got the Keeper, and obviously they've got the sort of the superior carry at this time, because Moon Queen, she doesn't have her full items. At the same time, Malikan is actually more farmed there. He's actually 520 GPM compared to only quite a measly 355 GPM. And this is a Moon Queen as well. Like, if this is a mid hero, then yeah, maybe you can accept 355 GPM, but for a Moon Queen to be this low on GPM, I'm a little bit surprised actually. And I mean, look at the CS difference between Probusk and Beaverbanger here. Only 119 CS compared to 175, and arguably for a hero that farms better with Moon Queen, I'm very, very surprised. Both carries haven't actually died, but Probusk is simply outplaying Beaverbanger in this sort of carry potential. So expect the push to come out from Dawn. Now they've got the the Shrunken Head on Malikan. They've got all the items they need in terms of their sort of build up and sort of supporting team. But Null are going to take down the tier 1 bottom. But the token is still up, only for 20 seconds though. So I would actually like to see Dawn try and defend actually this tier 2, or at least trade. But if they are ahead, I would prefer to see them try and defend. But at the same time, it's hard for really Ophelia to sort of rotate, although she is running down. So perhaps a defense here in the tier 2.
Yeah, you see Malikan again kind of leading the way up here, so decision-making time coming out, especially for Dawn. They are going to start pointing back. The tower is dropping pretty quickly, though. Finally, if vulnerability comes out, here's some more TPs. You can tell Nullstar Gaming really wants the tower kill, but it's probably too risky to be going in. Oh, yeah, 3 minutes on the back with the Minotaur. Not able to follow it up, though, so that could have been big. But I don't think they were expecting that. I mean, Kraken, Malikan, like, they were not expecting that at all. And so it happens, but...
the rotation was just a little bit too slow, because they didn't want to TP in because Ophelia wasn't there. She has to run all the way from the top lane, and they didn't want to take a team fight 4v5, but they do get the deny. And actually, in these sort of matchups, deny is quite important, because both teams have got heavy push and heavy team fight. So these outer towers are going to go down. So if you can deny them, that's permanent gold that you're taking away from the enemy team. So actually quite a big deny, because this tier 2 top is going to go down eventually. So that's just unacquired gold yet for Dawn. So denies, particularly in this strategy and particularly in this game, very, very much important. So well played carrot from Dawn in that respect. And still, I mean, Malikan farming incredibly strong, going to most likely pick up the Demonic Breastplate next, actually looking towards the Soul's Bulwark, and it gets really scary now, because Moon Queen, she hasn't even got a Shrunken Head, I don't think, unless that's on the courier right now. No, it's a Geoman's Bane. So yeah, I mean, I would like to see them sort of force the issue. She's very, very squishy at the moment. They've got good spells to lock her down through the Keeper. Obviously, the Geoman's Bane is going to sort of cancel that. But even the Malikan Sword Throw and the Glacius, Ice Imprisonment, just take a team fight. Moon Queen is just not farmed enough to really survive in these team fights. Yeah,
see, Quincy making a point right there. Even in losing efforts, Moon Queen usually just has great farm at 511 GPM. In those losses, I mean, sure, the lowest was kind of an outlier there, only 156, but was a 15-minute stomp, it looks like. So, yeah, Beaverbanger definitely needs to step that up if he wants to give his team the best chance at success here. No doubt, you mentioned the Soul's Bulwark pickup onto Malikan, eventually a Demonic Breastplate, and something like that, and then finish it off with the level 4 Rift Shards, I think would be maybe the ideal way to go. It could be so much damage potential, especially with the splash, and again, the attack speed and everything. So, he is continuing to do very, very well. And I was actually looking at the damage chart as well. It's kind of interesting. Fire and Ice are up there. Fire, though, definitely winning by quite a bit. 39% hero damage done. I don't know if it's... I mean, I know we're still... I mean, it's mid-game. I mean, it's 25 minutes in. Usually by now it'd be a little more evened out, but to have one hero at that high, it's pretty ridiculous. But.
I mean, I don't think there's been a lot of team fights in this game, and Pyromancer has been, harassing a lot with the Phoenix Wave and getting a lot of pickoffs, obviously, with the Blazing Strike. But, I think you're right, though. We don't see a lot of core Pyromancers, and it's definitely taken effect here. I think the biggest impact that a core Pyromancer can have is going to be the burst potential that she offers. I mean, a lot of Pyromancer supports only really sort of have that rank 1 ultimate, particularly throughout the whole game, because they don't get enough XP. But in this game, if you look on the XP chart, she's actually second on her team. So in that respect, actually, she's going to offer a lot of team fights, and she's still got the rank 3 ultimate to go as well. So particularly in sort of carry v carry lineups, what we're going to see here, that the extra burst potential. I mean, a rank 3, that's nearly the 1,000 damage. That's half of Malikan's HP. So if you can burst down Malikan and really give the edge to Nelson Gavin, it's going to be a big factor. But here comes the push, though, that I expect to come out from Dawn. But Null Gaming are going to split push, and that's exactly what they need to do, because they don't have the items of Moon Queen yet to take a team fight. When she picks up a stronger head, then maybe she can, but not at this moment. But I don't think Dawn can stop. I think they should keep going.
I mean, all 5 of them are here. I'm looking at TPs right now. Keeper does not have a TP. Ophelia doesn't. Glacius doesn't. Kraken doesn't. So they do not have TPs on the lead inside. So they need Nullstone to react, and they are for the time being. So I'm kind of curious about that. Nullstone maybe would have saw that if they maybe have a different story here. But at the same time, their base was being beat on pretty heavily. So probably would have had to ultimately get back in the end. Magnus does actually TP or portal key in. A little bit of harassment right there. This tower, though, it's dropping. I don't know if it's gonna stay up. It doesn't look like it. It does get denied, but really that's not the biggest deal in the world, as Don is happy with the end result ultimately. They're gonna keep this going, actually. Again, no token or anything like that. They still feel pretty comfortable. Sword throw coming out, doesn't hit anybody. Good for doing some good damage on the creeps, though. You see the Nature's Veil constantly being applied around as well, coming out from Keeper.
Watch out, Kraken. They need a Kraken good initiation. They need a Kraken ultimate onto Moon Queen's head, charge back, and that would be the perfect start here for Dawn. But it depends if actually Kraken can find it.
Yeah. He's try to line that up, of course, but Malakin, for the time being, again, continues to keep going back at the front lines. He has the Insanitarius, he has the Shrunken Head, so he has a lot of survivability. He's got the ultimate, as we stressed, especially when he pops at plus 60 armor. Or right now, I guess it'd be 40 at level 2. But anyways, Magnus goes in. Malakin is taking a good amount of damage. Pops his Shrunken Head at least for now. There's the Insanitarius, the only 4 minutes out. Magnus dropping as a result. Magnus moving out in the back up. Pyromancer got picked up. He jumped in, but he got locked down immediately, actually. They both buy back immediately. Now, will Dawn react to this? It looks like they are going to fall back, and that'll be that.
Great
so,
play.
Yeah, well
that's
played
fine.
indeed.
That's perfectly fine. Like they used like 2 buybacks. They still got the tier 3 top, and at the same time, obviously, they defended their own racks middle lane because obviously they didn't have TPs to get back. So, great play counter from Dawn. And I mean, at the same time, obviously, Nullstone do keep their racks, and at the same time, it gives enough time for Moon Queen to pick up that Shrunken Head, because that's the biggest thing. Because without the Shrunken Head, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But at the same time, Dawn, they did get out, and they did get a lot out of that push. So, well played to them. And still look at Malakin's farm. He's closing on that demonic breastplate, and I mean, Moon Queen just still kind of plateauing in terms of the farm. Like, it just seems so strange. Like normally in Moon Queen's in Moon Queen big games like this, like particularly in the mid and late stages of the game, she's like 500, 600 GPM, and like to only see her like below 400 GPM is just quite surprising, honestly.
Yeah. Again, it just goes back. It needs to be higher for an Nullstone game and to feel comfortable as far as where they're at. So again, it's up towards a 400, respectable, but it definitely needs to be higher. As he keeps going back to, he's trying to work on finishing his Shrunken Head. In the meantime, Malakin doing some more Ancients. As you mentioned, Demonic Breastplate, in fact, just delivered to him. So, yeah, even right now, of course, even before the Demonic is already pretty scary. Now you throw that on. And like I said, now next is going to be that luxury item, whatever it may be, something like the Rift Shards. Or we'll see where Malakin decides to go with it. But,
I think Behemoth's up would work. Yeah. Well, I'd actually like to see him pick up a TP and just keep going for the Symbol of Rage, because you always want to have a TP. Like you saw in the last actually engagement, 2 people didn't have a TP, and that could have been a little bit risky in terms of a base race, because although Dawn were ahead, if Nullstone, I think Nullstone should have actually carried on and went for the base trade, because yeah, they would have lost their racks top, but they would have traded, got a racks mid most likely. And at the same time, middle racks is a lot more important. And secondly, they didn't really want a team fight without Moon Queen Shrunken Head. So I'd have liked to have seen him actually carry on going for the base trade, but they did pull back and closing on that Shrunken Head on Moon Queen. But does she need a Mighty Blade actually as well? Or sorry, does she need the Mithril Hammer?
Or Hammer? I don't know. I can't say. I mean, we obviously would see her purchase it by now. So
I guess so, but. Yeah, I mean, just her farm seems so low, like, it's strange. But Kongor is up, though, and I think Dawn should take it. Try and abuse and exploit the fact that she doesn't have a Shrunken Head, but Pyromancer does have a Shrunken Head, but like I said, Moon Queen is the biggest factor here, because, Pyromancer's going to blow all of her spells and all of her ultis, and then the Shrunken Head isn't going to be the biggest of deals, whereas Moon Queen, she needs to keep on dishing out that damage, and without a Shrunken Head, she's going to have trouble in doing that, so... I like the forced rotation here coming out from Probus.
Rhapsody, very ballsy right there. He actually does get a word of sight down in the pit. The Keeper Tree Dog is actually following here. But
I don't think that gives vision of it. It has to be right on the edge, I think.
Maybe not, actually. Yeah, I think he was kind of panicking. The Tree Dog was on him, so he's just like, I just got to place this as soon as possible. And maybe that has something to do with it, but
I'm about 80% sure that it needs to be right on the tip if you want to see that, because I played support, and I'm pretty sure whenever I placed it here, I'd fail and never get vision of it. So I'm pretty sure you have to go in. But someone used Shrunken, I heard. Yeah. Malakin used Shrunken.
Malakin did, and yeah, I went off then because as I usually do at the end of the counter kill, I didn't know it's going to happen, but I wonder if that maybe was just preemptive, like, okay, just in case they jump, but maybe it was a misclick, who knows, but he does use it, so that'll be on cooldown for another 54 seconds, and that means now it's going to be, what, 8 seconds? Yeah, 8 instead of 9 seconds, so definitely is a pretty big deal, but, you know, it's not the end of the world either for him. He does have the token, after all, as well. You can see Quincy pointed out right there. We even talked about that yesterday, right, where that was a game yesterday where kind of a slower game overall as far as kills per minute. It picked up at the end, as you would expect. No one wants to fight start taking place. So, and you know, I guess we shouldn't be too surprised either, though, with this matchup here of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, well, in a mirror matchup, either you have a lot of early engagements, a lot of early kills, or you have this incredible passivity come out from teams, and this is what we see in this game. So, yeah, kind of no surprise here. But Moon Queen is about 50 gold away from a Shrunken Head, so that's maybe where we might see Nullstone Gaming start to push on and maybe start making these team fights, but they won't do it in the next 5 minutes because, you know, the Pro Boss token is still available. But there's the Shrunken Head. That's the biggest pickup, honestly, coming out from Nullstone Gaming, because now at least Moon Queen can be involved in these team fights. So.
And will we see any engagements, though, is the big question, obviously, with that. Now, keeping the Forest, speaking of bigger items continuing to come here, has an Arcana on the way to a Resto Stone, still has a little bit of way to grind that, but is definitely getting closer and closer to that. Shrunken Head, Portal Key on Kraken, 2,400 gold saved up. And obviously, they already have a Soul's Bow, Demonic Breastplate even, so I actually wonder what Kraken's going to look to go for here. Maybe something like a Sheepstick even. Wouldn't be out of the question at this point from him. I don't necessarily think they need to be putting out extra physical damage or anything like that, so could be a possible go-to pickup, but they're actually going to group at the top lane here. Again, they got the token on Malakin for another 3 minutes here. Want to try to force something out of it, possibly. I mean, the tower is dead here at the base, of course, and the melee Rax is even still regenerating even a little bit before it's going to be max life, so...
Oh my god.
What's that?
Look at Malakin's armor. Jesus. 46 armor. 47. And that's without his ulti. Like, with his ulti, that's like 100 armor with his ulti.
Just don't attack him while he has his ulti, yeah. It's like there's no point.
Ridiculous.
At least initially.
So tanky. Oh my god.
Yep, so rely on your magic damage to do it to him. Now that's, you know, hopefully he doesn't pop a Shrunken Head for that. So yeah, he's going to be very, very difficult to bring down. As I say that, I mean, he's taking some good damage right here, but, you know, he's starting to heal up, though, with that life essence of his. At the same time, though, again, taking some good damage. Looks like a back and forth. Heals back up, goes back down, heals back up, just keeping it safe. I mean, so Nullstone Gaming doing a pretty good job of chip damage here, but they're not going to fully engage, you know, against.
They need the initiation coming out from Kraken, like preferably on the Moon Queen. If you can get a charge and ulti onto Moon Queen, that's like almost Rex and almost game over practically. So I think Kraken's just biding his time, waiting for that initiation on Moon Queen.
Back in the front lines, Tempest. He doesn't have a fortitude. He has a tablet. Magnus stunts in. No follow-up, though, just simply trying to bait something out, perhaps. Again, Probosco, I'm sure, too. I doubt he's going to look to use that Shrunken Head before the token alive, so he's going to wait, if any, till after. And this is going to be a dead melee rack. So it's one of those cases. It's like, you want to defend, but it's very difficult. You just want to wait for the right time. It doesn't happen, and you lose the racks in the end with really putting up little restraint because of that whole situation, how now it played out. So Malakin, he constantly goes back in, healing himself up. Good job with the team support. I mean, Don just been playing this very active with the team. Now Malakin takes some good damage right there. He will end up falling, actually. Meteor definitely assisting with that, too, but now he comes back up with that token alive. So they get the token to be used. It only had maybe a minute and a half remaining anyways. And they got what they came for, the melee rack. So, whoa, that was interesting. I guess it's the short cooldown. Okay, I was going to say, I mean, was that really necessary? But it's only a 60-second cooldown at this level.
Yeah, it's
so.
only 6 seconds. It's not the beast. But they're not going to take a team fight in the next minute. So you never know. It could have caused like a crazy ulti from Tempest. And
yeah, it's true. Maybe bait it, yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, so I think for Dawn, I mean, they could wait for the next token to be up because that will give similar rage on Malakun and most likely Restoration Stone on Keeper, as well as the token. But at the same time, I mean, Nullstone Gaming just, they don't seem too strong at this moment. They don't have Portal Key on Tempest. They don't have Shrunken Head on Tempest either. So he's going to be incredibly easy to actually lock down. Plus, they obviously have the Keeper. And if they want to play it safe, I think it's best to even wait on those similar rages and the Restoration Stone on Keeper, because at the moment they are out farming them. They were only like 3,000 or 4,000 gold ahead of Null, and now they're nearly 7,000 gold. But I'd like to see a match try and take over the enemy jungle. Maybe have some wards up here into the enemy jungle and just sort of spot out the rotations from Nullstone Gaming and really sort of keep them pinned into their base. They've got the Rex in the top lane, so they do have the lane and the map control, but there's the symbol of rage, and maybe that's going to be enough to actually force a rotation come out from Dawn to go in the middle lane.
Symbol being delivered. What's going on here? Oh, there's that a double damage? No illusionary. They're going to try to beat something out with the illusions here. Or never mind, they're just going to go in with all 3 and just say, come at us. Come on. I guess those are going to be able to tank quite a bit of damage, but anyways, using it right there and kind of scare them off. Kraken, he gets a charge on a Magnus, but no stun as a result. And that'll be the end of that. But again, with the Symbol of Rage finally being delivered, actually wasn't on him yet. He actually just got delivered right there, but he has it nonetheless. And now into the tower we go. Look at this creep push. Again, they have an affiliate. They have a keeper. Oh, wow, yeah, Pyromancer gets the bottom tower kill. So at least a little bit of something, but it's not going to force Dawn to fall back. They just don't really care.
They can't. They have Ophelia. Like, you can't really rotate back with Ophelia because obviously the creeps don't have any way of really getting back. And I would actually like to see Pyromancer sort of carry on, actually, because he had a TP with him, but I guess he wants to be ready for any kind of initiation or any kind of team fights. But Tier 3 is still down, though.
Tower's dead. Yep. Again, Malikan. Now this time around, we saw last time he eventually died, and the chip damage was doing some work. But Kraken in the meantime, he jumps on a Tempest. Tempest going to be bursting out right off the bat. It looks like yes, he will. Ulti form from Malikan comes out, so get a lot of armor.
Buyback.
Has that splash range. No buyback on Tempest.
No, that could be
game.
That
very likely is game. Without a Tempest ultimate, I don't know if you can feel comfortable winning a fight right here. Symbol of Rage is going to be used. Goes back to full life. Roach being chilled. He will go in. Malikan is caught. Actually, Flaming Strike comes down. The heals are real, though. He stays alive. The Shrunken Egg going to be popped right here. He's putting out the splash damage out of attack. Glacial Downpour also coming out. Double tap for Probos. And that should do it. GG. Well played. Dawn takes game 1 over Nullstone Gaming here. 10 to 2 hero kills.
That's what I was saying. I said that they need that one initiation come out from Kraken, and when they've got that, they can win the team fight single-handedly. And Labyrinth again and again, coming through with his Kraken plays and clearly showing that he probably is the best Kraken player in Honor right now. And